Yo, what's up, everybody? I hope that everybody's having an awesome day. I'm driving around without a seatbelt on. Let me put that on. But anyway, so I just got destroying my legs, just in the best way. And I've used to hate leg day more than anything, and now I love it. And that got me thinking today of like attacking your weaknesses. And something I've always been weak at was legs, but there's all kinds of things in life that I've been not very good at, and what I did and do is I go full send. And I think that could have something to do with my personality and a little bit how I call it addictive personality, but whatever. I'm extremely passionate about what I do. I find something that interests me and I go all in 100%, and I study it until I really have no questions. There's always questions to be had, or I work at it until I become good. And I'll never be great, or at least I'm chasing greatness is the mindset that I have. As soon as I feel like I've become the best, I would argue all day long that we've failed. And in the fire service, we talk about that all the time, right? Is we are chasing good, we're chasing great, we're chasing excellence. And excellence should be the standard, but we'll never quite get there. And you should never accept that you've gotten there, because once you've accepted that you've gotten there, whether that's in the business world, in family, and or in the gym, well, where else are you going to go? You can always be better. You can always change your form. You can always hone in something. And when we start to pick apart things with a fine-tooth comb, well, then that's when we become better. And, I love having a coach, and Chris Edmonds is my coach. And one of the things I love so much about working under him is that I'm able to send him my videos. And he always references like the game day film, right? In football, we always watch what we did so we could learn better. Well, this is so true in life, and we did this talking about leadership development and public speaking. So whether it's in the gym, or you're driving around working on public speaking, or you've got a big public speaking event, is if you film yourself doing it, right? You film yourself working out, you film yourself speaking, you film yourself doing whatever it is that you want to attack and get better at. Well, then you start to identify your weaknesses, and you start to identify where you're starting to fall short. And through that attacking of the weakness and studying that, well, you see things that you'd never see before. And something I really struggle with still is when I was teaching a lot of trainings in the fire service, I would always say, and those types of things. And I never realized how many times I say those types of things until I filmed myself teaching. And then I realized I said those types of things about 47 times within a 10-minute period. And that gets really annoying. A lot of people will use filler words like and K, and they have no idea they're doing it until they watch themselves filming. And within the bodybuilding world, there's things that you do where you feel like you're doing something right, but then you watch yourself do it and you're like, well, I know that's not right. So you now have the opportunity to fix a movement, fix something, and that's how we become better. So if we're on the quest for excellence and in the quest for greatness to become uncommon, right? Getting away from the common factor is, how many people do you know who film themselves practicing public speaking? How many people do you know that film themselves while they're in the gym? I get a lot of hate. I would even go as far to say hate in the gym because I film almost every single thing I do. If not everything, I definitely film my working sets so that I can see how to get better. And then I send them to my coach, and then he critiques them as well. So together we're getting better through that attacking weaknesses. So that is, something that I've really strived for, and we want to allow people to see their failures fail. So we celebrate failure in the quest for excellence, not beat failure down. So if you are falling short, or you're failing at one aspect of that, or you're saying K and and your squat looks terrible, well, identify that, celebrate that, and learn from it. Some people get so upset when you give them feedback, and I've never really understood that, but people do not like feedback. Where if you're on the quest to become uncommon, or on the journey for greatness, well, then you need to be able to accept feedback and bring it in, right? We want feedback. We need feedback. We desire feedback so that we can become better. If we put up a wall for feedback, nothing good will ever come, right? It just won't be there. So we won't be able to learn how to get better. We won't be able to learn where we're falling short, because we've put up this wall, this facade, and we're telling everyone that we're good when we know we're not. So really, to summarize my rambling here, is that if you want to be great, if you want to be excellent, you want to become uncommon, accept criticism, attack the weaknesses through self-identification and mentorship or coach identification, but more than anything, be willing to accept the criticism, the feedback, and the critique. Because in my mind, the people who are great are the ones that accept feedback, find feedback, seek feedback. The ones who are not great are the ones who do not accept feedback, because they know they're falling short. And so they're putting up this wall, they're putting up this facade, and they're putting up a block so that they hope no one sees their lack of ability. But everybody sees it. Everybody. Versus the person who acknowledges where they're falling short, the person who sees and understands that they're falling short. They bring the people in around them to make them better. Or they find people to put on their team to fill the holes where they are falling short. So, in our quest for excellence and to become uncommon, attack those weaknesses, my friends. Have a great day. I appreciate you all.